What's up, guys? Thanks for joining me today. I'm Nick Bacon, Realtor Bacon, and I'm joined today by Chris Harris. He's from Gateway Mortgage. He is a lender. And today we're going to kind of kick off a new series. Thanks, by the way, Chris, for joining me.
You bet. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no problem. So, I'm kind of I'm eager to get to this because I've been thinking about it a long time. It's kind of been weighing on my heart. I think a lot of people have trouble with this, and so today we're going to kick off divorce and real estate.
Yeah,
It's a
hopefully we can answer some questions.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think we can. Um, it's a big heartache. It's a lot of issues. You got kids you got to deal with. You got dogs, and you got property. The biggest asset, your real estate property, and I think a lot of people don't quite know how that's going to work out, and sometimes I think it'll even stop them from maybe getting out of a situation they really need to be out of just because they don't know what's going to happen with the house, let alone the kids.
Right.
So I can't help with the kids, but I can definitely help with the house. I've gone through a divorce myself. It's part of the reason I feel like I need to talk about it. Chris, I know you've been through at least one divorce yourself.
Yes,
My
sir.
Yeah, my new partner's been through one, so we're sadly, we all know what it feels like, and so we can empathize a little bit. I want to talk about three cases today, and they're going to come in what I think is a logical order. The first case is going to be a judgment that says you have to sell and split the proceeds. The second case is going to be what if I have negative equity in the house and that happens? And the third case is going to be a refinance. Okay, so that's kind of setting up the structure, the model for this conversation. So the first case, the sell and split. So
Mm.
that's mostly on the realtor as far in the title company and the divorce attorney and the judge. The lender, correct me if I'm wrong, is kind of just going to treat this just like any other home sale. Am I right?
Yeah, just like any other home sale transaction, it's just going to pay off one and get another.
Yeah, perfect. So in that case, basically, the judge says, "Hey, you guys can't agree. You got to sell the place," or "Hey, you guys agree that neither one of you can afford to take the place on your own. Let's get this place sold." And the judge is going to decide partly based on your current financial situation, your lifestyle, and then, your attorneys are going to go to bat for you. And that's going to be, huge. And then in the end, the judge is going to decide you get X amount, you get Y amount. And in that process, I'm actually going to take that judgment. And after I've opened a preliminary title report to make sure there are no clouds, no liens, things like that, I'm going to give the escrow officer that judgment, and that's going to make it to where at the end of the closing table, you guys have signed off. You can do that separately, by the way. That's something a lot of people don't know. You don't have to be in the same room when you sign. You just both need to sign. Once that happens, the escrow officer is going to disperse the funds accordingly, according to that judgment.
Yeah,
Now, case,
if I can add anything to that, the only thing I would recommend is don't wait until that judgment comes to
yeah,
get a hold of Nick. Get a hold of Nick when the process starts.
yes,
We'll connect all three of us, work you through this, and guide you and answer questions because having
absolutely.
somebody to answer questions for you through this process is going to be huge.
Oh yeah, that's major. And maybe a lot of the times I'll have to say, oh, I got to defer you to your real estate attorney. But the nice thing is, if you get a hold of me, right, or not real estate attorney, excuse me, the divorce attorney, the nice thing is if you get a hold of me in the middle of that, if I need to, I can kind of go back and forth with divorce attorneys and make sure we're on the same page. And that's really helpful too. So yeah, I appreciate that feedback. Now in that kind of same circle, we have case two. Case two is a negative equity case, and this is kind of worst case scenario. How does a
Oh boy.
lender deal with negative equity when the house has to be sold?
It would somebody would have to make an attempt to sell their house and do it unsuccessfully with a profit, and then they'd have to go talk to the bank about potentially doing a short sale. The short sales are never a good thing. It disqualifies you from a conventional loan for 7 years, and
Wow.
3 and 4 years on FHA and the other programs. So it it's not a good situation. But if you're already in a bad situation and you need a way out, I would get a hold of your divorce attorney and get hooked up with your bank and negotiate a short sale.
Yeah. And basically, a short sale in most cases is the lender agreeing after you spend some ungodly amount of time selling your house. Because short sale does not mean it takes a short amount of time.
No,
Short
no,
short sale
it could.
means you're short on funds after the sale to pay off the note, right?
Yeah, yeah, and that process can take up to and maybe even over a year sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah. So we try as hard as we can to avoid that. And so hopefully instead of that, we can come to a marital agreement or some sort of judgment that leads us to case three or case one. Case one being sell and split, case three being a refinance under one person's name. So a lot of people think that if the job is done, if a quitclaim deed is filed, and that's all you need to do. But that is not how it works.
Not in the
In
eyes of the
fact,
bank.
yes, yeah, not as far as the bank goes. The title company could care less. Sure, yeah, you don't have any more interest in the house, but the bank is going to keep sending both people a bill
Correct.
unless one party refinances with only their name, and they would have to qualify, right, for
Correct.
that.
Yep. Just like any other home loan, it's going to take some scrutiny.
Right. So in that
Scrutiny.
case, oh yeah, no, I got
Scrutiny.
yeah. So in that case, the judge could order that, or you could come to like a pre-divorce marital agreement where you just agree that Jane or John Doe is going to keep this house, and they would need to be able to qualify for that, uh, sort of regardless, because the bank is not going to lend somebody money just because the judge says they get the house. They have to qualify.
Yeah.
Um,
Now the non-retaining party can purchase a house without while being on the other note, as long as they can provide 12 months worth of payments. That the note wasn't being paid by a joint account; it was paid solely by the retaining party. If she's retaining the house and she's been paying the note for 12
oh,
months and we can prove that she's been paying that, then John doesn't necessarily have to get off that loan. We don't have to force Jane to refi. Now, I
oh,
mean, it does open you up to some vulnerability,
sure. Yeah, she
being
could
on
just
a loan
stop
with
paying.
somebody. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
So it's not a situation I would want to be in, but you know,
but
desperate times
officially
call for
speaking, they could
desperate.
they could manage to work that out.
Hmm.
Yeah, but preferably what you would want is you would want Jane to get a hold of Chris and refinance on her own with her own
Absolutely,
name so that you are
absolutely.
absolved from getting that bill. And if she decides she's going to try to stop paying the bill, then you're not going to be held accountable for that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
both Jane and John will benefit from refinancing one or the other off.
absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, and in some cases that refi can end up with a cash in excess, an amount of cash, and the
Hmm.
judge may order that cash to be given to the other party who's losing the home.
Correct.
So that's like a buyout situation, and that's how
Yeah,
that would work. Yeah.
yeah. They just split up the equity after out of the escrow account.
Yeah. Yeah. Perfect. Well, hey, Chris, I really appreciate it. We're going to continue this series. I might bring in a title expert on the next one. We might do a roundtable, but I will be continuing this, and a lot of it's going to be coming out of my book, best selling options in a divorce. And so I look forward to that. I'm not trying to be an ambulance chaser. I happen to know this is a very contentious issue for a lot of people. So I'm just here to provide information. If you have further questions on something we didn't cover today, get a hold of me. If you're thinking about refinancing under your own name and you've come to a marital agreement, get a hold of Chris. Make sure everybody's got a divorce attorney in this process, no matter what you've decided. If you need some names, hit me up. I've got some good referrals for you. Regardless, thanks a lot, Chris, for joining me. I really appreciate it. It's a short stream today, but I think we really took care of a lot of these questions. Do you have anything to add before we wrap this up?
Call me early in the process so I can help you get pre-approved. So you can go to your divorce attorney and say, here's what I'm pre-qualified for. Um, it's already been under underwriting. This is how much I can afford. So you can prove to the judge that you could keep the house on your own if there was
Yeah,
if it ever got called into question.
yeah, yeah. Perfect. I like that.
Yeah,
Thanks.
even if you haven't made the decision, let me just answer any questions you might have. Nick too.
Yeah, yep, definitely. Get a hold of me with any real estate questions. And, I'm going to drop a link in the comments for that book. Take advantage of that free ebook on that, and that'll answer a ton of these questions previous. But if you want to just tune in and listen, you're more than welcome. Hit like, hit subscribe, all that good business. And we'll see you next time.